Joseph is reunited with Jacob in Egypt. Joseph's reunion with his father Jacob and his brothers in Egypt is one of the most moving moments in biblical history. After years of separation and suffering, Jacob finally discovers that his son, whom he thought was dead, is alive and has become ruler over all the land of Egypt. Jacob's family's journey to Egypt is a testament to God's faithfulness in fulfilling his promises. When news reached Pharaoh's palace about Joseph's brothers, Pharaoh said to Joseph, "Tell your brethren to make haste to return to the land of Canaan, and fetch your father and their families, and return to Egypt. I will give you the best land, and you will eat the best the land produces." Carriages and food were prepared for the brothers to return to Canaan and bring their families to Egypt. As the brothers left, Joseph called out to them, "Don't fight about it along the way." So they left Egypt and returned to their father Jacob in Canaan. "Joseph is still alive," they told him, "and he is governor over all the land of Egypt." Jacob was stunned by the news. He couldn't believe it. The brothers told Jacob, once more, everything that Joseph had told them. When Jacob saw the chariots that Joseph had sent to take him, his life was renewed. Jacob exclaimed, "It must be true. My son Jose is alive. I must go and see him before I die." Everyone packed their belongings for the trip to Egypt. Jacob was transported in one of the carriages. They traveled to Beersheba, where Jacob offered sacrifices to God. During the night, God spoke to him in a vision. "Jacob, Jacob," he called. "Here I am," Jacob replied. "I am your father's God," said the voice. "Do not be afraid to go to Egypt, because there I will make your family into a great nation. You will die in Egypt, but Joseph will be with you to close your eyes." They left for Egypt. The number of Jacob's descendants, not counting his sons' wives, was 66. As they neared their destination, Jacob sent Judah ahead to meet Joseph and get directions to the region of Goshen. Joseph prepared his chariot and traveled to Goshen to meet his father Jacob. Finally, Joseph met the procession of chariots that brought his family to Egypt. Jacob almost couldn't believe his eyes. The son he thought was dead was alive. The two hugged and cried. They held each other for a long time. Finally, Jacob said to Joseph, "Now I can die, because I've seen you and I know you're alive." So Jacob, his 12 sons, and their families settled in the Goshen region of Egypt. There, they acquired property, and their population grew rapidly. Jacob lived for another 17 years after arriving in Egypt. So in total he lived 147 years. Conclusion: the video of Joseph's reunion with his father Jacob is an inspiring story of redemption and reconciliation. No matter how lost we may feel, Joseph's story reminds us that God has a bigger plan for our lives and can use even our most difficult situations to lead us to a place of blessing. Please subscribe, like and share this video so that others can also be inspired by the story.